Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and today I have a preview video. Before I get into the preview video, my last Magic the Gathering pack that I cracked was an Ikoria booster pack, and I said that, hey, over the weekend I'm going to be playing a draft with my play group, 3 of my friends. We got a booster box of Ikoria, and as usual, we get whenever the newest set comes out, we'll get the booster box, and we'll do 3 rounds of draft. So just to give you an update on those 3 rounds of draft, here's what we do. So we'll do the typical draft, 3 booster packs, rotate around the table, and then build a deck. Once we're done, we'll play each other, and then we'll finalize our records. And then we'll play the next round, finalize the record, next round, finalize the record. Well, how is our draft different? Well, with our draft, it's the same draft. You can draft whatever you want of the pack and pass it. But there's one thing that we do a little bit different. After we're all done playing, whatever rares are drafted, we'll take and we'll put back in a pile. And then at the end of the day, after we've done the 3 rounds of draft, based upon record, we'll then take turns drafting the rares or mythic rares out of the pack. It's kind of a fun way so that you're not screwed over on your random luck, but you have equal opportunity at the end of the draft to get some of the cool cards and not just be lucky enough to open them in the pack. So obviously as we draft, sometimes the focus isn't drafting first the rare and mythic rare, but a lot of times we'll draft uncommons because you'll keep what you get out of the pack. Uncommons, commons, foils, something like that. But when it comes to the rares and mythic rares, those will go back into the pile at the end of the draft, and then we'll take turns drafting based upon the record. Well, for our draft that we did over the weekend, I finished second, so I had the second pick as we went through the draft, and I won't go through all the cards that I drafted, but just some highlights. So Luca happened to be my first pick. My friend that took first drafted the Luminous Broodmoth that we got out of the pack, so I'm pretty excited to play Luca. I don't play too much red, but playing a Planeswalker and building a deck around it is kind of fun. Since we don't spend a ton of money on single cards, we just basically draft cards that we get out of our booster box draft, or any sort of packs that we'll buy. If we get lucky and get a rare or cool mythic rare out of them, we'll use them. So Luca was my first pick. My second pick was Luris. So pretty excited to play Luris. I like black-white. I think that's a pretty cool card. I know we've got the new rules with Companion out there, so we'll see what happens with that. And then my third pick was this really cool alternate or art or extended art or borderless art. I'm not sure what the correct term is. Ragran Triome. So those are some of the highlights out of the draft that I did with my friends. It was a really cool draft, and getting those 3 cards out of it was pretty fun. Okay, so over the past couple of months, I've completed 3 bingo videos. Core Set 2014 was a miss on bingo, as was Amonkhet. However, Hour of Devastation was a bingo success. So if you want to check out more details about each of those bingo videos, I've added a link in the description below with both a preview and review videos for each set. So what bundle does today's preview feature? Well, it's the newest Magic the Gathering set, Ikoria Lair of the Behemoths. With today's preview video, I won't be cracking the packs. Instead, I will be reviewing the contents that come in the bundle, as well as some of the cards I could get when I crack open the packs. So let's get to opening this bundle up and taking a look at the contents. I'm a big fan of bundles, as you can tell with some of my videos. I like to collect them. I think the bundles are just a really cool and neat way to collect not only cards, but some, cool items that come in the bundle packs. Plastic on this one is being a little difficult. Okay, we got it off. All right, so let's take a look and see what we've got in our bundle, do a review of it. So let's get the collector's box out, kind of turn that around so we can see that it says Magic on it. Oh, yep, don't steal, kids. And then I'll review this piece first. As I've said before, these sometimes are kind of weird inclusions in the boxes. They don't necessarily fit, cards. I suppose, you can fit one at a time. I use them for mailing stuff off. I sell some things through eBay, and it's kind of a nice little storage box that is pretty durable and protects cards pretty well. Okay, next up is another one of my favorite things of the bundle is the, oh, I missed this. They've been including these recently. Most of these are kind of, I don't know, advertisements for the storyline. They're kind of lame, but you know, at least they've got some instructions on mutating. Mutate has been kind of a difficult mechanic to follow. So let's get this opened up and see what sort of art. I like to kind of open it slow so it won't tear. These are one of my favorite things, these kind of full art. So we get a little bit of a landscape of Ikoria, Lair of the Beasts. Sorry, Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths. There you got Vivian Reed on the front with, looks like the Gem Razor creature. And some of the Triumph art. So these are pretty cool things. I don't really hang them up. I suppose if you wanted to, you could do some sort of like storage with it. All right, let's get right into the bundle contents and check it out. So this set has 111 commons. It's got 80 uncommons, 53 rare, 15 mythic rare, 15 basic lands. So we've got, now I've heard that these right here, these thicker counter cards are going for like $1 or something, which I think is crazy. I'll set that to the side here. And then we've got our typical kind of like add token cards, you know. Planeswalker loyalty, how does it work? Discovering more magic. Popular formats, standard, booster draft is what my play group really likes to do, the three of us, as I've said. And, you know, we'll build decks and you know, kind of do our own like monthly Friday Night Magic stuff, blocking and attacking. And then you get 2 different land packs. One has the classification alternate art rare, and I can't remember if these are foil. I think that these are the foil lands. Yeah, they're the foil lands, and then the regular Ikoria lands. The set features new keywords like mutate and companion, while cycling is a returning mechanic last featured in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation, which were the 2 sets that I just recently did, you know, bundle bingo on. And then, you know, we get our 10 packs of Ikoria. So pretty excited to open these up. You know, the Planeswalkers in this set are going to be, as we saw on the full art, or the kind of the packaging art, is Vivian. She's returning along with Narset, who's tricolor, Jeskai colors. And then a new Planeswalker, which, you know, you got to see when I went over my winnings from my Playgoots draft, Luca. So that's pretty cool. And then, you know, in these boxes, I really like these storage boxes. Oh, here's our die. I don't know what I think. These larger die, I mean, this is a beautiful looking dice, but it's a little too large. I really like the smaller, more traditional dice, but, you know, this is still a collector's item. So, you know, Ikoria is a wedge-based set, so it's using the similar wedges, as Khans of Tarkir. And so within this wedge-based set, you have a legendary creature cycle that are all, you know, like Mardu is Snapdax, Iluna, I think, if I remember right, is Jeskai, Nethroi is Abzan, Vodruk is, let's see, no, Iluna is Temur, and Vodruk is Jeskai, and then Brokos is, geez, I can't think right now, Sultai. Okay, and then within the set as well, it's got 10 2-color hybrid-based legendary companion cards. So you got Urion, that's blue-white. You have Geruda as blue-black. Obosh is black-red. Jingotha is red-green. Kahira is green-white. Luris, who I showed off earlier, is white-black. And then Lutri is blue-red. Umori is black-green. Zerda is red-white, and Karuga is blue-green. So these companion cards have caused a little bit of controversy with the companion mechanic. What we found in draft is that the companions are broken. If you draft a companion, it's just another creature on the battlefield that, you know, as soon as you hit your land drop, you're guaranteed to cast the creature. So in a lot of games, if you had a companion, you were winning the game. And so, you know, I'm hoping to get as many of these legendary creatures out of this 10 card cycle, or any of the mythic ones as possible. And hopefully, you know, with their alternate art versions, which are really cool. And then as I showing off, the set has the first tricolor land cycle that has the basic land card types. So just like how I pulled this Ragran Triome, which is an alternate art, I think it's the borderless art, I'm not entirely sure, but it's got 3 basic land types, and then each of them have cycling 3. So sort of similar to the dual lands that were out of Amonkhet that cycled for 2 and had 2 basic land types. The Triomes have these 3 basic land types. Okay, so, you know, after I've shown off all the contents here in my handy dandy, you know, collector's bundle, if you will. I'll call it a collector's bundle, but really, you know, this bundle, you know, what's the theme of this bundle? You know, I've done bundle bingo the past 3 times and was 1 out of 3 times lucky. But since I've just, you know, it's the newest set that's available, and I just finished 3 rounds of draft with my friends in the playground, I think what I'm going to do is each pack, as I open each pack, I'm going to have a feature called What is Your First Pick? So after I open each of the packs, I'll tell you what my first pick was and why, and I'll explain how my play group does our booster pack drafts, and why the mythic rare is quite often not the first pick, you know, in the draft. Just like I explained a little bit ahead of time when I showed off the, you know, the highlights of the goodies I got out of that draft. You know, I'll explain that because we're putting all the rares or mythic rares back into the pile after 3 rounds, and we draft those cards based upon how we finished. There's a lot of times that the mythic rare isn't the first pick because we're taking an uncommon, maybe a powerful uncommon that we can keep. You know, we can guarantee we can keep, versus I might be able to keep the mythic rare if I do really well in the draft. So since there are 10 booster packs in the bundle, I'll be making an individual video cracking open each booster pack with my usual commentary and what would have been my first pick from that pack. And then my final video will be my review video, and I will cover the overall highlights of the bundle. You know, what were my rares? What were, you know, did I get a awesome mythic rare? Did I get any of the mythic uncommons like Bastion of Remembrance, Dire Tactics, or Heartless Act? Notice how those are all black, and that's kind of similar in Theros Beyond Deck. The bomb uncommon seem to be black as well. And then, you know, I'll do my usual financial commentary. For this bundle, you know, I spent an even $30 on it. And so I'll look at the value. Did I make a wise investment? Open cards with greater value than what I paid for the bundle? So, you know, sit back and relax. You know, whether you watch each video as it comes out or you decide to binge watch them all at once, grab some popcorn and enjoy the pack cracking. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did like it, please subscribe and share. Till next time when I crack that first booster pack out of my Ikoria Lair of the Behemoths bundle. And be ready to tell me what your first pick would have been.